Hello all, welcome to CAD Technologies. In this video today we'll be learning how to make a sheet metal model using CREO as the CAD tool. First let us understand the drawings which we have been given. From seeing this is the front view, this is the right view, this is the top view. The detail view for a teardrop is shown in the detail A, and the section is exactly cut at the center for better understanding. Also we have a bend table. This is your bend table and this is your flat pattern. In the flat pattern they have showed various type of bends which has bend sequences which we have already mentioned during making the component itself. So this is bend 1 of 90 degrees, bend 2 of 180, bend 3 so and so, bend 3, bend 4 so and so. You have 8 bends overall. Now considering these two, this is the first as well as this is the first and this is the second drawing. Understanding both the drawings, we are going to make this component using CREO. Now, let's begin by creating a new part, giving it a name, and since we are working on sheet metal, I'd like to select sheet metal and then say OK. The units and say OK. Now, we have entered into the sheet metal workbench. Now, the thickness is 1 and this is my front view. So, I'll start by taking the 250 by 150 profile. So, I am just using my planar. The first wall always should be a planar wall. So, considering this is 250. Let me go back. This is 150. Now, we know that the thickness is 1. So, once I say OK, it will ask for a thickness. Since it's already 1, I'm not changing it and I'm just clicking on OK. Now, let's continue. I'd like to make this wall, which you can see, this wall, which is of 100. I'll use a simple flat and select the edge to create that. This is 100. Now, there is a cut at the center, which you can see in the flat pattern, this cut. This cut usually is made by before bending this, creating the bend 3. So, I'd like to unbend it and then remove this of the body. I know this is 30 TYP, that is 30 from here as well as from here. So, let me try to unbend and then start removing the material using my extrude command. The material is being removed somewhat over here. The distance from the edge to the line is 30 and 30 from the other side as well. So, let me just give this as 100 first and then take it as 30 from here as well. You can give an equal constraint if you do not want the 30 to be repeated twice while you are making the drawing. Once you cut, it cuts through the sheet. Let's just bend it back. You can see this will be a cut and bend feature. Now, let me go back. I have another feature which is coming over here. Then I have a wall over here as well. I have a wall over here as well and then over here. Let me begin by making this one. I'd use a flange to make that because I can control the profile in the command itself. So, once I say shape and start making my sketch. Now, there is an arc of R4 and a straight line of 15. The end of this, let me take it and then take a line. This is 4. This is 15. Now, I know the overall distance is 45. So, instead of 127, let me give the overall distance from here to here is supposed to be 45. Now, once I say OK, it adds the wall. I have done using the flange. Inside your flange, there are different types as well. You can use any of them. I have made a user defined wall because I need this shape. Now, let's continue. I want to make this wall. Now, it's a very simple one. You have a straight line and then a wall. The straight line is of 15 and then of 25. On this face, I'd like to make it begins Now you can just go back to your sketch and start making the sketch. I don't want this. I want it this way, as we have already seen. I know that this is supposed to be 15 and this is supposed to be 25. Now, it's not throughout the wall, it's just at this, which is at a distance of 60 from the cut edge, that is from this edge. So, I'd like to give the 60 here by simply dragging it, or under your shape when you move this you get the dimension, you can use that dimension as well. Once I try to do this, you will get the dimensions. This is supposed to be 60 and this is supposed to be 60 as well. Since it is mentioned TYP, I'll consider this and this as the same distance. This will be the wall. Now, there is also another wall of this shape, as you can see. It's at this location, which is similar to the one which we have made earlier. Let me try to use the flange again. Go back to my sketch and try to make the shape of it. Of course, it's not straight. It's at an angle and then it's straight. So, I know this angle is 20. They have already given me the angle. Overall is 45 and this is 10. So, the overall distance, that is from this edge to this end, is 45. That is the end of the wall and this is 10. Again, it considers the whole wall. Instead, I'd like to end through this. So, when I say right click, it will ask you for select. You can just directly select what you want and then it does it for you. This is an easier option rather than repeating the 60 twice. Now, there is a relief which you can see in the drawing over here. I'd like to give that relief as well. So, when I go back under my relief, I can give the relief which is actually of a rectangular relief. This will be your other wall. Now, there is also another wall which is in this shape. For this, I'd like to use few predefined profiles which are already under the command. For example, when I select flange, I have few predefined profiles over here. So, to make this sort of a shape, then I can use a flange which is called open. As you can see in the right view, it gives you few predefined dimensions and you can also edit them. For instance, the overall length is 30, I can give this as 30 and the radii is 10, I give this as 10. This will be the wall. Now, the whole wall is not throughout the body, it's just at this location. So, again, you can either give selected to the edge or you can give the dimensions. You want, you can give it selected to this face since they are at 60 only. Same way I can also give a certain edge to give it, or you can actually give a dimension as well. When you go back, you can actually give a certain dimension which is 60, then I will take it as 60. Now, there is also a teardrop, as you can see over here. Again, I can use the same flange command to create the teardrop and create a wall. The wall actually for teardrop is C type. Again, I am taking the right view to show it to you. This is your C type. I have 1.5 and 0.5 already mentioned, which is 4.5 and 1.5 and 0.5. The whole length is supposed to be 4.5. So, let me just change this to 4.5. It gives you the teardrop wall. This is how you use predefined profiles, predefined walls inside your flange command. The same are inside your flat as well. There are different types, as you can see. Now, let us continue by drilling our holes. As you can see, there is a hole over here. So, let me try to take a hole command which is under engineering. It has to be at a distance of, I think, 15 from this edge. And another one is from this edge, which is actually supposed to be 12. Now, the diameter of the hole is 15. It's already 15. I'll just do this. I can mirror the same thing onto the opposite side. So, I'll be using a mirror command which is under your editing. Now, in the same manner, there is a pattern of holes over here which is of 10 dia. Let me try to make those as well. With a certain dimension of 15. I think the other one is mentioned in the other drawing, which is at 50. So, it is at 50 distance from this face, and same like earlier, it is at 15 from this face. Now, the diameter is 10. It is supposed to be through, so I will give it through. Now, I can use a pattern to create this. This is very simple to do that. So let me try to create pattern in the editing. Give direction pattern and select the directions. The first direction is this way and the distance between them is 20 TYP. So let me take that as 20 and it requires almost 4 holes. I flip the direction, let go back. Now the other direction is in this direction and the dimension is 215. So under this direction dimension is 215. Let me flip it. You see the features. Now there is a center cut which is a racetrack. Dimensions of these are given over here. So let me try to use the same extrude command to create the racetrack as well. Under your palette, like which we have checked earlier in another video, but again under palette there are predefined profiles which you can use to make these type of profiles or cuts. Now, the cut is actually at a distance of 90 from the base, from the top. So let me take 90. The length is 100 and the width is 30. This is supposed to be cut through the body, it will cut through the body. This is the whole model of how do you make using a 3D model using sheet metal drawings. This is my first drawing, this is the second drawing. The second drawing is actually called a flat pattern and they have also mentioned the bend details. You can follow this. If you want to create your own bend table also, you can create it by yourself. Again, let me finish the rounds as well. There are few rounds in the model, over here 10 and over here 15. So let me try to finish those as well. Under engineering, you have rounds. You can also click R to get the round command. This is 15. And in the same set, I'll be taking another one. It's supposed to be 10. Other ones, these corners are actually 10. So let's try to give those as well. We can do it in that command only. We don't have to repeat the whole thing over and over again. But since for your understanding, instead of taking multiple sets, I am doing it this way. This feature also has rounds over here. Let me try to take rounds over here as well. These are your rounds. This is your final sheet metal model, as you can see. If you want to take a section view, you can also take a section view, give it a name. Of course, it's at the right view, so you can see the right view as well. If you're looking for any professional training or advanced sheet metal training, you can contact us. The details will be given in the description below. Thank you so much.